All right, so the good times continue, and we're gonna step away just a bit from like the actual MCU and go way back in time to 2002 when the first Spider-Man movie came out with Tobey Maguire, and that was the time. That was the time. Oh boy, the hype around it. Seeing a Spider-Man movie in theaters. I watched the trailers. I remember, I think it was on Kaza or something. And we used to like download the trailers to watch them. That's the only way we could do it. And oh ho ho ho, what a time it was. The build up to it, and when I watched it in theaters, it was surreal. Let's get right into the trailer first. We'll discuss it later. Let's do this.
Who am I? You sure you want to know? If somebody told you I was just your average, ordinary guy, not a care in the world, somebody lied. Truth is,
man, the first time they showed him swinging, I was like,
can I take your picture for the school paper?
Sure. In this lab, we have 15 genetically enhanced super spiders.
There's 14. One's missing.
this was like no universe, right? No universe building this. It was straight up just a story on its own.
You're changing. I know I went through exactly the same thing at your age.
Not exactly.
Not exactly.
There you go.
Wow.
Peter, may I introduce my father, Norman Osborn?
Great honor to meet you, sir.
Harry tells me you're quite the science whiz. You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
What the hell was that?
Whatever it is, somebody has to stop it.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Ooh, look
This
at that
is my
camera
gift.
work on the
It
swing,
is my
man.
curse.
They don't do like that anymore.
I'm Spider-Man.
Ooh. Oh, I'm getting chills with the music.
Do I get to say thank you this
It's been
time?
so long since I watched the trailer.
Do too much. You're not Superman, you know.
Well, there you have it. What a time it was, as I said. Yeah, I remember the theater that I went to. I remember the poster that we got. Back in the day, there used to be a thing. They didn't do that anymore. It was like a premiere night, I believe, or the opening weekend, or it was the first day. Either or, but it was definitely like the opening weekend. And yeah, we got that poster. I think I lost that poster somewhere. Ooh, so bad. Bad boy, AK. But I remember getting that poster, so excited, watched it in theaters, and I think I watched it, and at that point, we didn't have money. Like, it was like, hey, whatever we got from our parents on a monthly basis, the allowance, you would just put it together, right? But I remember watching this, I think it was at 3. I remember 2. I don't know if I watched it 3 times in the theater, but that's how many times I watched it, because it was the experience of it was so real. You did not see this before. Something like that. It was just on its own a huge thing, right? Alongside with X-Men, of course. X-Men came out a few years back. I believe the first X-Men was in 2000. So like between that and this, it was like we're getting these superhero movies with like these kind of effects, and everything is like so real. What is this? Like, like the experience, you just had to be there. Now it's like, oh, MCU and all. Even with Iron Man 1, at that point though, we have had superhero movies, right? So it was just like, oh, that was the first time that somebody did a cinematic universe with all the characters together. So that was the first there. But superhero movies were still done. This one, though, when it came out, it was still one of those first ones. Like this, X-Men, Blade. There were the kind of superhero movies that was like Hollywood like tried these and were like, oh, if they work, then we can go ahead and make more. And they worked, right? So they were like risky in their own ways that they had to work. And they did. And the way it worked back in the day, remember, like they made so much money. Like if you look at like some of the box office stuff, you compare it to now, that there were a lot more tickets sold. If if you want to go into all that detail, so it was just because the quality was there, and for them to like do this, and Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3 again gets a bad rep, but I do think it's still a good movie. We'll get to it when we get react to the trailer. But everything about the William Dafoe's like Green Goblin, like the way he did that character was perfection. I think Tobey Maguire killed it as a student and as a Spider-Man. I don't know, like it was just like it was its own take, but the Spider-Man they tried to show, it was like comic booky, but it was very real, right? Like for back in the day, it was not just about like, oh, the guy in a costume. They made a story around it. There's a story, there are characters, there are issues, and even with like the MJ stuff, like a lot of people now are like, oh, MJ was like useless, but when I look back at it, it's like it was like real, the real relations. It was not about like a girl or anything like they're trying to make some tech or she's gonna help him with this or that. I don't, nothing like that. It was just it felt very real. Just very, it definitely felt the early 2000s, but at the same time, like nobody like talked, like at least back in the day when we watched it, we're like, we watched it with great characters. And I remember watching it, I'm like, there's nothing about this film that is imperfect. Everything is perfect. Like even today, I do think it's a 10 out of 10. Yes, some of the special effects you can tell now are like very CGI-esque or like plasticky looking Spider-Man at some time. Like you can tell like it's not the real, it's CGI. But even like that, you can get, you're fine with it because it came out in 2002. But it was just so well done. Story, the pacing, the camera work, his swings. Like the first time he. I remember we came out of theater and we wanted to try it. Not in like, we wanted that to happen. We wanted a spider to like bite us and something would happen so we can do that. Again, this was a good time. It was great to see this trailer again. What do you remember from this movie? Were you even born when this came out? Or have you seen it recently? Leave a comment below. Let me know. And thanks so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. I'll see y'all soon. Until then, ta-da. A cap.